Greetings, viewers. I guess it's a little bit different than my normal intro, which my normal intro is. So I wanted to make a video about. I don't know. I just find it satisfying that I never meant to make a normal intro, but I just started all my videos the same way naturally. Now I see why people do intros, because it's natural, I guess. Anyway. I guess I want to keep this video fairly short for once, because that's the number one problem I have in my videos, is they tend to be 30-minute monsters. I'm not concise. Not very good, period. But anyways. Oh yeah, the point of this video is that it really appears to me that NVIDIA really screwed up with their ray tracing tech in their newest GPUs, the NVIDIA GTX 2080 Ti, 2080, 2070, so forth. Why do I say that? Because a few reasons. Excuse me, the sniffling again. Which I seem to be always sniffling in my videos, but whatever. I've been sick for the past week. Pretty vicious cold or flu or something. I never know what. There's something I never know. You know, I get sick and it's like, is this a cold? Is this a flu? Like, what is this? I don't know how to tell the difference. It was pretty nasty, whatever it was. So it might have been a flu. I don't know. I guess it's just a cold. It's going around. Pretty nasty. But I'm mostly over it, but it'll stay with me for another week or whatever. Just barely, you know. So AMD. Oh, and NVIDIA and their ray tracing. Now, here's why they messed up, and I hate NVIDIA fanboys. They are the worst. Some of the worst fanboys in the web, along with Sony fanboys. These guys love overpaying for NVIDIA products. They love it. They want to destroy all NVIDIA competition. They would rather pay, you know, the G-Sync. The whole G-Sync thing is just an atrocity to me. Like, it's NVIDIA fanboys that want to pay like $400 extra for monitors because it has some NVIDIA tech in it that's not even useful compared to FreeSync. I mean, they'll say it is, but it's really not. Yeah, so, but I could go on and on about that, and it'd be in a 30-minute video. Suffice it to say, NVIDIA fanboys are really, really annoying. Really, really numerous. So I'd love to see NVIDIA get smacked down, and AMD had been looking terrible. I was like, what is AMD doing? Because the last rumors that were that AMD wasn't going to have a high-end competitor out to the new RTX NVIDIA series until like 2020, 2019, which could be, you know, forever. And, you know, just like, what is AMD thinking? They're doing great with their Ryzen CPUs. But, like, what are they thinking on the GPU side? You know, you're not even trying to compete anymore. That really annoys me. But, it looks like I was wrong because these newest leaks look really promising. Oh, and the RX 590 was a big disappointment. Basically a power-hungry, hot, overclock of the 580. Pointless in my opinion, and too expensive. But, the point of this video is that NVIDIA really screwed up with the ray tracing, in my opinion. NVIDIA fanboys are never going to admit this. I already see them running damage control, but face it, NVIDIA fanboys. NVIDIA goofed. NVIDIA done goofed. I think I'm going to make that the title of this video. If you remember that old meme. Done goofed. Ray tracing, guys, here's the thing. I'm all for new graphics tech and all that, but I'm looking at it critically, like, what is this benefit? And from what I can tell, first of all, it only applies to such a small area of graphics that I can tell. Because they're only doing it on reflections. And so the videos that I looked at, I haven't looked into it too deeply, but I looked at a few YouTubes talking about this ray tracing tech. And I was pretty astonished at how limited it is, because it only applies to scenes with a lot of reflections anyway, which doesn't really happen that often. I mean, you know, think about life. If you're walking around outside, there's not reflections, you know, there's leaves on the ground, there's dirt, there's the world, there's no reflections, you know. Reflections are not a super common thing. So, I mean, I was looking at the ray tracing in Battlefield 5 video somewhere, and it was showing that, like, oh, in this scene, there's not many reflections, so nothing really, you know, the ray tracing isn't doing much. You know, there's a lot of scenes like that. Yeah, if there's water around, and if there's like a shiny car around, you know, you get reflections. But in a lot of scenes, there's none. So I'm like, so NVIDIA's dedicating all this power and marketing and die size to ray tracing, and it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't even apply to a lot of the games. You know, you have to have these puddles and stuff on the ground for it to even come into play, or a shiny gun or something. And then I was looking at it, and it looks better, but it's not, you know, so amazing that it's blowing my mind. And then, on top of all that, the performance hit, as we all know, is insane. And here's where NVIDIA fanboys come in, because I see they're already, you know, damage controlling this. Oh, the new patch has really cut down the, you know, the performance hit. No, it hasn't. It's still an obscene performance hit. Here's the thing, for like almost no gain. You know, I think this thing is looking, I could be wrong, but it's looking to me like a disaster. Like, what is NVIDIA doing? To me, this is a huge misstep, possibly. Huge, you know? And I guess maybe this is going to be a 20-minute video because I'm already at 7 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I don't see what NVIDIA is doing here. And here's the thing, from what I've read, and I don't remember all the details, but they have dedicated a massive amount of their GPUs to this, which is a massive amount of expense. Keyword. So basically, AMD has a huge advantage now, in my opinion, because they can just forego this ray tracing technology, which I think they should, and they're dumb, so hopefully they won't embrace it. But they're dumb, and they try to lose a lot, I swear. So we'll see what happens. But the thing is, AMD can now just not do this ray tracing. And they don't lose anything by it, in my opinion. Because as a gamer, everything about this ray tracing is like bad news to me. Like, I'm thinking bugs. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it tanks my frame rate. I'm thinking it has almost no positive effect. You know, it seems like an albatross. You know, it's something that's like making a game look maybe 5% better for like a 80% performance hit. You know, that's a losing proposition. You know, I don't want that. And here's the thing, like I said, so NVIDIA has to pack all these tensor cores into their GPUs, and that's die size, which means die size directly relates to cost. It's how big your chip actually is, and that's how much it costs. So, NVIDIA's making, the whole reason, like if the 2080 Ti was built like a conventional GPU, it could have been like twice as fast as it actually is. I mean, that thing is huge. Huge. But it's not huge fast, you know. It's not fast enough for the price at all. Because they dedicated all this die size to the tensor cores. And like I said, NVIDIA fanboys are already on, and a lot of them are in the media. That's the really sad thing. A lot of the NVIDIA fanboys are in the media. The tech media. You know, they're already coming out. Like I saw this one tech site that was like, oh, ray tracing is like SSAO. At first it had a huge performance hit, but nowadays it has almost no performance hit at all. Well, first, you don't know if ray tracing is going to go down the same path. You know, it obviously isn't, because I don't remember huge amounts of silicon being built for SSAO. Do you, whatever, I think it's Hardware Canucks or something, some NVIDIA fanboy site, which most of them are. You know, we're half of, did NVIDIA ever come out with a generation of GPUs where half of the GPU had dedicated hardware for SSAO? Because I don't remember that. Pretty sure that didn't happen, you know. So I don't know why they're comparing SSAO to ray tracing trying to make excuses for NVIDIA that, oh, ray tracing is a big performance hit now, but in the future it probably would be almost no performance hit, just like SSA. No, what a bunch of nonsense. So all I'm saying is all AMD has to do now, they have a perfect opening. They can just put conventional GPUs together that are much smaller, faster, cheaper, or if they go as big, anywhere near as big as NVIDIA, they can be much faster than NVIDIA, you know. They could make something with a die 2/3 the size of the 2080 Ti, and it could be like 50% faster than the 2080 Ti. That's how die inefficient this ray tracing cores are, you know. These things are just taking up huge amounts of space on the GPU. So with that in effect, you know, look at this leak about these NVIDIA RX 3080 that's supposed to be 15% faster than the Vega 64 for $249. And that all sounds like impossible. Like, yeah, right. But like I said, all you got to think is all AMD's got to do is build a GPU without all this tensor core crap. And they're there, you know, on 7nm process. You'll have a small GPU. It'll be incredibly fast, incredibly cheap. And this appears to be that. Now, this could all be too good to be true. And I suspect that it'll be slightly too good to be true. I know this happened before where it was like rumored, oh, AMD is going to come out with this chip that just blows away the price performance spectrum. I think it was about the RX 480 a couple generations ago. So, and that never completely panned out, but it panned out like 80%. So I can see this leak doing it too. Like, I've already made some comments on some message boards to the effect of, like, I could see this actually becoming, it's only 5% faster than Vega 64, and it's $299. You know, the leaks are too good to be true, but just by a little bit. I could definitely see that happening. But that would still be an awesome deal if you're getting something a little faster than the Vega 64 for $300. Vega 64s right now are going for $400 if you find a really good deal. I mean, I'm on the Slick Deals website. It's basically good deals all the time. And that's what they post. Those are pretty much the best deals I'm seeing on Vega 64s right now is $400. So if you get for $100 less, get the same thing or even slightly faster, that'd be a fantastic deal, you know. So yeah, balls in NVIDIA's court, but I think they screwed up big time. It's probably okay. It's more in AMD's court because let's see if another really positive thing I wanted to note about these rumors is these are just rumors from Adored TV, this YouTube channel. But Kyle Bennett of Hard OCP Forum, I mean, I don't know, he's kind of old school, but basically he's a, you know, tech site guy. Been around forever. And he's like very reputable. And he basically posted that he commented on his message board, which is a pretty famous forum. He's in a position to know, basically. He said about this leak, he said, not all of this leak is true, but most of it is, or something like that. Something to that effect. So if you know him and his reputation, his insider status, that's basically confirmation, you know. So again, I don't expect it to come out quite this good. You know, I don't expect it to be $250 for Vega 64 plus 15% performance. To me, water that down a bit. $290, especially the price. They're not going to come in quite that aggressive on price because AMD's like not stupid. They like money, you know. So if they can charge a little more, they probably will. So I would expect, you know, a little bit less than this leak. But if you get anywhere in this neighborhood, you know, you're doing awesome. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, NVIDIA fanboys, you better watch out because NVIDIA messed up. They really did with this ray tracing. You know, I don't know what they were thinking. Honestly, I think they got kind of bored because they're like, oh, we're ahead of AMD. AMD can't compete with us. What do we do? You know, and I think they just kind of got, you know, loosey-goosey, soft, whatever you want to call it, you know. Like, ooh, let's do this ray tracing thing. AMD can't compete with us anyway, you know. And, you know, I think it's going to backfire big time on them, honestly. It looks to be a disaster, in my opinion, you know. All AMD has to do is introduce new cards without this ray tracing crap. Because, like I said, I'm a gamer, and I don't give a crap about this ray tracing, you know. Sure, if it's free or something, I'd like it, but... And I saw the video again when I watched about it, and it was full of bugs, man. They were showing, like, the ray tracing was applying like some weird reflections to the gun that looked all weird. You know, it didn't look right at all, and you know, it was clearly a bug. And I'm just like, what? You know, what is this? And even when it works correctly, it's not that great. You know, so you're dedicating half your GPU cost to this. You know, this effect that only applies in like 10% of scenes, and it only makes the game look maybe, you know, 10% better. You know, I think NVIDIA might be due for a fall here. So yeah, AMD's hitting on all cylinders, and Lisa Su, man, she seems to be doing a great job as CEO, you know. So to me this is looking great, and NVIDIA screwed up. NVIDIA done goofed, like I said in the video. You know, to put all those resources into ray tracing, it's not looking good. Why'd you do that, NVIDIA? You know, the size, the 2080 Ti is a gigantic GPU, folks. Like they had to like make new technology to make one so big. It's like the biggest GPU in history by far. You know, the thing is like 800 millimeters square or something like that. It's huge. So it should be so fast, but instead it's only like 50% faster than the 1080 Ti, you know? Because all this ray tracing junk's taking up all the room. So anyways, it's been 16 minutes, so that was the point of the video. It'll be really interesting to see. Like I said, I can't wait till CES, where AMD is supposed to drop these new cards, and see what really happens. It's still a month away. I think CES is January 7th to 9th or something like that, somewhere around like the early January. So, being it's December 8th right now, it's still a month, and that's all going to be a long month to wait. But, you know, we'll see. But it looks to me like NVIDIA's goofed, and, you know, you need to admit it, NVIDIA fanboys. This is looking to me like an AMD-style goof. AMD's goofed up a lot. Or a Xbox One, you know, the original Xbox One style goof. You know, I'm a big Microsoft fanboy. I'm a big AMD fanboy. One of the biggest. You know, so I know goofs from my companies when I see them. You know, when I saw the Xbox One built around Kinect, built with that stupid ESRAM, not very powerful, you know, I knew it was a goof when I saw it. Bad move by Microsoft, you know. Blame Don Matrix. Now they've fixed a lot, you know. Now they come out with the Xbox One X. Phil Spencer's got them on the right track. The Xbox One X is extremely powerful. All that stuff. So, but I knew that they goofed with the Xbox One X. I mean, the original Xbox One back in 2013. I may have, you know, now I play the fanboy, so probably if you would look at my content and forum posts and things at the time, I was probably trying to defend Microsoft just like the NVIDIA fanboys are. So I guess, you know, I guess I'm a bit of a hypocrite, as people often are. But, you know, but I could see that Microsoft had screwed up, and, you know, NVIDIA fanboys need to see the same. NVIDIA screwed up here, guys. Instead of running damage control on it, maybe admit it and dedicate your forum posts and shilling to trying to get them back on track and telling them that this was stupid. Because, you know, it looks like a big goof to me.